Greetings everyone, this video is to introduce factual corrections and additional information to my back 4 video. So, the first thing is that there are two different angles we can get. Here we start straight, and we'll notice that Ling is able to spring kick. If we start with the sidestep right, not only does it allow us to get further right, but at a certain angle, she can no longer spring kick. If we down 3 when she's at an angle that she can spring kick, but we're far enough right and deep enough, we float her like this and get this follow up. If we're past the angle where she can no longer spring kick, then the down 3 is going to hit counter hit and do some damage there. This is more difficult to get to hit against tall male characters like Paul, and if we don't get far enough, deep enough, late enough, then this happens. However, it is possible, even straight from the front, starting like this, and when he can spring kick, to get the down 3 to float, like so. If you're worried you're not going to get deep enough for the spring kick, you can always hedge your bets with back 3, which will hit grounded, and back 3 floats, as mentioned in the prior video. By getting somewhat right, deep enough, and late enough, we can guarantee up back 3 versus their up recovery option. This also works versus back recovery if we're in that angle where they can spring kick. Here we see it still works even if we're far enough right, past where they can spring kick. However, if we're in the front angle where they can spring kick, up back 3 is going to lose to that. If we get far enough where they can't spring kick, we'll beat that. However, another option opens for the opponent, which I didn't realize before. If they hold back, the weird angle makes it whiff like this. Fortunately, we're able to mix that with Hitman up 4 or up forward 4 like this. It'll beat the spring kick there. And if we did knock them to the ground with that, we'll end up trading with down forward 1, so that's not a great option. But if they want to keep trying to spring kick again or do something else, we're able to float them with down forward 4. And this will also be safe if they stand up. So we see the extended combo here. And in this situation, the opponent is going to be able to stand, but when they do stand, at least we're safe with the down forward 4. So here, set them to stand up. And they can block if we tried that follow-up. The one option they can do if they used the spring kick to get into an airborne state here is if they do a recovery kick, it's going to be even our down forward 4 timing. You can walk or low parry if you expect that situation. Another thing they can do versus this is stand up with up. We're still safe, but it's a safe way out. However, that loses to up back 3. If we enter Hitman at a +7 situation, they can block by holding back. However, at a +8 situation, if we hit the back 4 a little bit later, we'll hit them on that recovery and get down forward 4-4. At this +8 situation, they're still able to stand block with up though, and it's going to leave us a little bit negative, usually at -5 or -6. If we get far enough that they can't spring kick or they wake up kick and get hit by this, we're at +13, and therefore we can follow up with down forward 4-4 as well. If the opponent tries to wake up with a toe kick, we can confirm that visually, and we're always +14 in that situation, so we get forward 2-1. At a Hitman +9 situation, the silver circle actually hits the opponent grounded and we get a free up back 3. We're only +12, so no other follow-ups. Up back 3 in any situation is still a great finish if we're able to get it, because we're able to put on a lot of pressure, do some chip damage, and get frame advantage. If you think the opponent's going to try and roll either left or right, up back 3 catches these options. And again, we're able to force some pressure. If we hit this up back 3 and they tech roll, we get +7 chip damage and a plus frame situation. If the opponent successfully rolls to the right and makes our silver circle whiff, I think we're plus, but I'm not sure how much. It was hard to test this. Of course, our frames here may also depend on our frames from the back 4 and where we were at there, so we might have a range of 2 or 3 frame possibilities. However, often if they roll right, especially the larger male characters, they'll get caught and we're +14, which allows us to refloat like this. The opponent's best option here is probably to try and roll left, which still loses to up back 3, but if they dodge our silver circle with it, we end up back turned like so. When we're back turned, our back turned 1 or 2 turns in 8 frames, so it's pretty quick, though it is a high. If for whatever reason our opponent tries to quick roll forward here, we end up at plus 12, so all we get is up back 3. And then pressure 2. Though it's difficult to visually confirm, if the opponent stays still and doesn't move from the ground, we're also plus 14, and we can refloat in that situation. This can allow us to get to the wall and have longer combo extensions like so. Though it will likely be difficult for the opponent to discern when they can spring kick and when they can't, if you're worried about the spring kick, again, you can hedge your bets with back 3, which, when we're slightly right, refloats like this and still hits on the ground when they don't. There are a few other things that we can do for it. First of all, if we just leave ourselves in Hitman, their spring kick's gonna whiff. This allows us to put ourselves into Hitman and watch the whiff and whiff punish with Hitman 2. If they try other options, we're still safe. This gives a lot more damage than trying to hedge with back 3-3. Another option we have here is to simply backdash and make them whiff. It is possible, but a little hard to backdash into Blazing Kick. Backdash into Silver Knee is a lot easier like this. Just straight back to our bread and butter combos. We can backdash into back 4, but because of the long time on the back, you might need to do a KBD motion to get it to come out properly. This allows us to go into some finishes like so. And it might be worth noting that if we're somewhat right and we start sidewalking too early because we're plus frames, we can get to the angle where they can't spring kick any longer. So if we are expecting the spring kick, step just a little later in time with them, and we can get to the side and get things like this. So here we'd get at least a Blazing Kick, but if they tried to kick, we get that situation and a refloat. With a clean walk to the side, we can get back 2-4-3 from the back. Sometimes the third hit whiffs, especially against smaller characters, but when we get it to hit, we get dash down 2 into a combo like this for a lot of damage. This combo right here does 90 guaranteed damage. Hopefully that clarifies our back 4 follow-ups, up back 3 escapes, and our other options. See you next time.